Hello, folks. The precious metals markets are changing so fast. I'm having a challenge keeping up. But anyway, I'm doing my best. I might not be sharing information, but I am paying attention. On the left-hand side of my dashboard, this is silver in the 1 hour time frame. On the right-hand side is gold in the daily. The difference in the time frames, I'll explain that. I don't feel like gold is the primary, that's not where our attention needs to be at this point. Gold is doing what it's going to do. It's working towards its next price surge, in my opinion, which will take it to the next big round number, which is 5,000. So silver clearly is the market of interest in the short time frame, and that's why I'm paying attention down here. Again, we're in the 1 hour time frame in silver. We had the $80 price level acting as resistance, but it appears that today silver has clearly broken above that level. An interesting thing of note to me in this chart. So this big spike here, this was the 26th, the 26th. Well, they're showing 28th. That was the $7.50. Oh, because we're down here in a different time frame. That's why it was throwing me off. This big spike, that was December 26th. And then we had the machinations after that. And so anyway, lots of market machinations in this big spike and subsequent fall there. And so what I want to point out in the difference between those two price movements, whereas this was a very sharp spike higher, followed by a substantial dip, basically retraced the full price movement. What we are currently seeing is a structured, its price is stair-stepping its way higher, and from a technical analysis, what's the definition of an uptrend? Well, it's a higher high. So here's the start. There's our high, there's our low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is the definition of an uptrend. And so anyway, it appears that today we've pushed through $80 as a round number resistance level. We've got the resistance at the median line of this Andrews pitchfork. And again, we're down in the 1 hour time frame, so we're down in the down in the muckety muck, down in the noise potentially. And then the other thing to make note of in this chart is that there's a lot of noise up in here, and so silver will have to work its way through. That's all the way up to almost $84. $84 before silver is in clear sailing again. So, and I don't have any doubt that we'll get there. But let's keep going. So we looked at this previously. We're looking at this chart. This is SLV, the ETF that claims, emphasis on claims, to have physical silver vaulted and securely stored for every share that it sells in the paper markets. And so anyway, we won't go there today. But last time we looked at this chart, I explained the reason to look at the ETFs is because we get volume, and volume is an important signal. And what I explained in last time we looked at this chart is that what I would like to see in a follow through, if silver is really in this big rally that we think might be going on, I'd like to see some follow through with a continued push higher in price. Well, there you go. And a continued surge in volume. And again, there you go. And because technical analysis again, in an uptrend, we want to see volume following price. Price rises, volume rises. Price declines or goes sideways, and then volume declines and goes sideways. So anyway, in an uptrend, volume follows price as a rule of thumb to pay attention to. Now, same thing in GLD, and it's not as decisive. We don't, we didn't get the follow through. This was that big green arrow there. That's what I was saying. Last time we looked at this chart, I wanted to see a big push in volume and a big push in price. And we haven't seen that yet. And that corresponds to what we're seeing back here. Gold is still, basically, in my opinion, it's gathering its energy. It's consolidating, getting ready for its next push, which will be to 5,000 at least. And that's when we'll see the next big surge in volume and price on GLD when that push occurs. Right now, clearly silver's in charge. This is, in my opinion, this is the most relevant silver chart for most people, unless you're down there trying to trade in the daily time frame. If you're an investor in silver, this is the most relevant chart. Silver's targeting, 170, 180, something like that. There are people taking profits right now, tightening stops, pulling taking partial profits, pulling their trading positions off the table. That's up to each individual investor trader. So I'm going for the big, I'm going for the big picture. The full pull. If you're familiar with tractor pulling, you'll understand that the full pull means the tractor has pulled the weight the full length of the track. And so anyway, I'm going for the full pull, and we ain't there yet. Talk to you soon, folks.